Hello, this is Angela Anderson. Thanks for joining me tonight. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to paint a ballerina. Well, just her legs, I guess. Impressionist style with the palette knife. Hopefully, we'll keeping it fairly easy. I've got my husband, Mark, here.
Hey there, everybody.
He's going to be man in chat for our painting show tonight. I'll be painting this with acrylics, too, so in case you needed to know that. Get that question all the time, actually. In case it's not in the title, you know. Anyhow, let's get started. So this is the image that I found. It was in black and white. I added the pink to tint it. I thought really you could add any color you wanted to this, or leave it in black and white if you wanted. So, and if you want to do regular legs, you don't have to do a ballerina. You could do like the bottom half of a woman's dress, I guess, if you weren't into ballerinas. This is kind of nutcracker time of year, so I thought we'd do a ballerina for that since it's still Christmas time.
That's good, as long as they shave their legs. It'll be all right.
Yeah. No promises. All right, so I'm doing it on a 9x12 inch gesso board, and it's pre-primed and everything ready to go. I'm going to use I chucked it out with some chalk, but I'll go ahead and use my pencil to go over my lines real quick to kind of show you how to draw it if you want to draw it yourself, or if you want, the traceable will be available on my Patreon page, and that's patreon.com/AngelaFineArt. And the link is up in the iCards and down in the description for that. It's $1 a month for all the traceables that you want. All right, so I started out just kind of figuring out where her waist was going to be, sort of right at the top here, and then kind of figured out where I wanted the bottom of her feet to go, and I kind of wanted it about a finger's width above the bottom. And her feet are fairly close together, and really you can kind of use the width of the body up there to figure out where you want the feet to go. They're just maybe about a finger's width apart from one another. So I just kind of did two kind of flat lines there for where the bottoms of the shoes were going to go. And then I sort of split up the legs into three parts. So there's the feet here, and then the here to here is about equal. So if you kind of use your fingers there and measure, it's about equal to where this leg kind of tucks in behind the knee. And then there's another section is just above where the tutu ends. So if you kind of mark the leg into three parts, it would be right here, and right about here. You should be fairly equal. And I can do my curved line down for this part of the leg. Then it's going to come out for the foot and angle back towards this. And it will have a slope right at the end where it kind of comes down. So there's just a little bit of a slope where those toes fit in. Then the top part of the foot kind of angles this way just a little bit. It's not quite straight up. Angles up right here and in a little bit, and then hides behind this leg. And then this one is going to come down. I'll put that over here. It's going to come down like this, and just make sure that your thighs are about, they're no wider than the waist here. So that this whole area is kind of tucked into this waist. She's kind of skinny here, obviously, so I think they're required. That's kind of a part of the job. They don't get to eat. That's pretty much how it goes, I think. Poor girls. I never did want to be a ballerina, by the way.
I'm just glad I'm not a ballerina. I
don't know if you knew that, but I kind of figured I liked to eat too much. So.
Yeah. Eating is good.
Plus, I have no coordination, so that had something to do with it. All right, so this leg kind of angles down here, and we're kind of pointing it maybe at this one. So you kind of angle it down toward this side of the foot here. Kind of does this crisscross thing. And then when it kind of hits the foot here, you're going to start angling it back in. So it's going to start curving back in, and then pretty much goes straight down until right about here. You're going to kind of have this little area that kind of pokes out right here. And then this side sort of comes out this way and in and back out. and back in. And just make sure ankles are about the same width here, like that. And then it's going to come up and out a little bit for her calf muscle. And then come back in and back out right here where it meets the thigh. So there's just a little dip right here, another dip right here. There's just a lot of little, well, it's just these kind of little graceful lines. So that's the trickiest part. The dip here is about equal with where this leg comes in. So you can kind of dip it in a little bit, and then these two lines are pretty much parallel slightly. They slightly widen at the top. The knee is going to be tucked right in this area here. And then the other thigh is hiding behind this leg right here. You're just seeing a little bit of it. All right, and then the shoe is going to come down and sort of angle down like that. And then there's a strap that kind of comes across the foot here and then does this crisscross on her ankle here and here, and then back around her calf right there. And then on this one you're seeing the top part, so let's do the top part of the shoe. Comes in and goes back around. You really don't see the side here or here, just seeing this top part. And then the crisscross happens about the same place as this one. So you're going to cross here, and then this one's going to come across this way, tuck into there, and then most of this we're probably going to cover up, but I do want to go ahead and put it in, and we might end up just kind of trying to paint it in as we go. I'm going to do the legs and the background kind of impressionistic style with a brush, and then we'll do some palette knife work on top, but the dress is going to be mostly palette knife. That's the thing that we're going to really do the palette knife. So this top of the dress is angled right here, and then it kind of slips down and out and wiggles around here, and then there's a little part of it that kind of tucks in underneath right here and here that we're seeing, and then this top part kind of comes back down and around and curves down like that. All right, so not too hard. This really, I don't know, just practice it on paper, and once you get it good on paper, you can transfer it onto the canvas. That's what I would suggest doing. Do it on tracing paper or some sketch paper and trace it, and then just transfer it on with some graphite paper.
So people have already asked how many sticks is this? I've given it 2.5.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep.
Okay.
Sounds about right. If you use a traceable, I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. So if you use a traceable, I would say, it would be a 1.5, maybe, 1.
Okay.
But the hardest part is going to be, painting in the legs. But
Okay.
I'm going to really do it fairly sloppy. So, that makes it a little bit easier for a beginner if you don't have to be super careful about the lines. Let's see. I think I want a little bit wider.
And you haven't gone over your palette yet.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So I've got titanium white, got Quinacridone Magenta, Cadmium Red Medium. This is Ultramarine Blue, Burnt Umber, and Carbon Black. And I'm going to use a little bit of the Burnt Umber and Ultramarine Blue to create a gray. And I'm just going to start filling in. I've mixed it with the white. I'm going to start filling in around the dress with these cross-hatching motions. And then when I get closer to her, I'm going to grab a little bit more white and do white kind of around her legs. You could paint in the background first if you wanted to, if you don't want to have to try to paint around the dress. I really had kind of intended to do that at first, but then I thought it would take too much time to have to dry it and all that. So just trying to save time here. We're going to paint around it, and I'm not worried about the dress because I'll probably want some of that background color to be underneath. So I'm going to actually go ahead and kind of cover up right up to it and over it. Let's grab a little bit more of that brown, a little bit more of that blue, and we'll do a little bit darker in the corner here. pull it down, and I'm just letting those brush strokes show. So I'm just kind of doing these cross-hatching motions and let this brush, I'm actually loading it up fairly thickly with paint. I don't normally use this much paint on my brush, but I'm letting it be nice and thick so that I can get these really cool textures in the paint. Get a little bit between the legs there. And let's do it over here too. Just that. Every now and then I'm going to pick up some white and come back over it. Blend some of that in. And like I said, I wanted a little bit lighter around her legs, so I'm going a little bit lighter with the color right around her legs. But make sure you've got some nice big brush strokes going right up to those so that you don't look like she's got a halo around her legs. You don't want it to look like she's outlined. So once you kind of outline her, then go ahead and smush in a brush stroke or two right real close. Okay. Grab some more white here. Get some white right close to her body. And then pick up some of that darker color. It's pretty much equal parts blue and brown. Just makes this really pretty gray. Now you could use the black instead if you don't want to mix your own color. You could use a little bit of carbon black instead. I may not use it tonight. I just have it on my palette just in case I want to pop it in there. But I may just decide that I like these two colors and don't want to use any of the black. A little bit warmer palette. Black will make it a little bit colder, if that makes sense. So it just depends on if you want a little bit of warmer colors in yours. Okay, there we go. Nice movement. I think I want to go even darker right around her body. So I'm not going to add any white to this. I'm just going to grab some really dark. I should say right, not around her body, but around the sides here. Up in here. And just make sure that your paint is not trying to dry on you. If it's already drying on you, then just let it dry completely and come back and do this over the top later. You can add it in later. No problem. You can even add a little bit of that background color in sections. And now we'll add that really dark color right down here. And this maybe, I'll grab some of that black and use a little bit of the blue with it. Nice and bright. So welcome to our channel. If you are new to us, we do these shows a couple times a week. And our whole goal is just to try to help making learning to paint with acrylics easy and fun. We have a good time doing it, hopefully, and hopefully you will too, enjoy listening to our silly chatter. And I have painting for all kinds of different levels, beginner to more advanced levels. So there's hopefully something here for everybody. All kinds of different styles. One's a little bit more impressionistic. Some of them are more realistic. Some of them are more whimsical. Just but our main goal is just to kind of help you learn to paint take some of the mystery out of it. Been painting for about 30 years now almost, and I really love it, and I love getting to share it with people and helping make your art journey a little bit easier maybe. And I love getting notes from people that said that they had always wanted to paint but didn't think they could because they couldn't draw or they didn't have the talent. And I'm definitely telling you, you do not have to have talent to paint. Just takes a little bit of know-how and a little bit of hard work and practice, and you can paint too. And that's my job, hopefully, is to help you get there. Okay, this foot looks a little bit big, so now that I got my thing on here, I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit. Okay, and this bottom part I just kind of streak side to side. So just adding some streaks in it with what's on my brush there. Right. Very good. Okay, so now I'm going to switch to a little bit smaller brush. I'm going to grab a number 2 flat, and we'll put in her body. Add a little bit of water to my paint there. And I always am picking up a little bit of water. It's just off camera, so you don't see it. But anytime you see me reaching across like this, picking up a little bit of water on my brush. Usually I'm just kind of getting it on the very tip of the brush. And you notice I kind of pick up a little bit of paint, and then I bring it over to a clean spot to mix it. That way I don't muddy up my my fresh paints. Just pull a little bit off to the side and work that in my mixing area over here. It's kind of the trick of keeping it from getting all messy. So I'm just going to want to go a little bit darker than the background over here. And then as I work my way over here, I'm going to add a little bit more of the white. And just pull that kind of sideways. It's actually kind of at a diagonal. There's some creases in her dress. Let me grab a little bit more of that black, make it a little bit darker color. There we go. Okay. Just like that. We just want it to be dark enough, light enough that you can see the difference in the two colors. So I'm going to grab a little bit more white, and just right here I'm going to add a little bit of white right along that edge. And then I might go back in and add a little bit of the dark over here, because I don't think I made my background a little bit dark enough right over here. Okay, there we go. Okay. It's gonna look really weird until we get the skirt in, so don't worry too much about that. How you doing, hon?
Doing good. So if people are watching live and they're not subscribed and can't get into chat, you might want to. We're discussing what are some good teething remedies for babies.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
so very paint centric here.
I like it.
So do you have any suggestions?
We had that frozen teething ring that worked really good.
I suggested chocolate.
It was that gel gel teething ring.
That would shut up a baby, I'm sure.
I think. Oh gosh.
And then somebody asked what I had to eat, and I told them beef jerky, and then they thought I was suggesting beef jerky for the baby.
Oh.
So that might
So
help.
not beef jerky for babies, just beef jerky for Mark.
Right.
Check. Got it. I understand now. Okay, I'm gonna bring that that leg color up a little higher. It's about the same color, maybe a shade lighter than this background color here. And I'm going to use it along this side of the leg here. Ooh, just try to stay in line somewhat. It's actually okay if you're a little bit sloppy with it though. Since this is kind of Impressionist, we want those edges to be a little bit fuzzy. So it can be a little bit messier than normal. I'm going to grab some of this light color and add it to the background right here next to the shoe. Right down here and in between. There's this foot is darker than the background around it. Right there. And then it gets a little bit lighter over here. I think the hardest part about this one is going to be managing your values. So just kind of figuring out, and when I say values, I mean the darks and lights in it, because it is gray. So some of it is going to be a little bit trickier than others. So you can just make sure that you've got enough difference between the background and your shoe color to make it visible. So if I can't see it there, I can grab a little bit of my lighter color and just sit it next to it. Make that part of the shoe a little bit more visible. And then I'm just kind of blending that out so that it's not looking like it's just there by itself. Grab a little bit of that black. So this part is fairly dark right here, this bottom part of the shoe. And this half. The light's obviously coming from this side, so this side of the shoe and foot and leg is darker, and this side is going to be lighter. So I have a shadow on the knee. It's going to look really weird until we get it all kind of painted in, but never fear, we'll get you there. All right, so let's grab that medium color. Here, we'll start moving some of that medium gray in. Add a little bit more white. And we'll brush in some of that. And I am going to wait until the end to put in my ties there. And this side is fairly dark right here, so grab a little bit of that darker color. It's almost as dark as the other thigh right up here, where that skirt shadow is. And then I can grab some of that dark color and kind of blend it in slightly, but I am kind of letting my brush strokes happen, so it doesn't have to be perfectly smooth. It might be a little stressful for some. If you would like to have it perfectly blended, you can do that. Totally do it. You know, I've got videos on how to do that, so that's a definite style choice that you could make on this painting. That's just not what I'm going to be doing tonight. So if you want to learn to blend, I've got lots of good paintings on how to blend, you know, smoothly. Some of my flower paintings are the better ones for that, I would say. So like the large red poppy painting is probably one of the best that I have of the blending, you know, learning how to blend with acrylics. So if you're interested in that, you might check that video out. Okay, so just adding a little bit more light on this side. Probably not light enough yet, but we'll get there. Just kind of pulling some brush strokes in towards the middle, letting them kind of generally blend with, sort of like we did the background. More white here. I'm going to grab a little bit of that original background color. This one I added black too that I'm using on her dress. This background color didn't have the black in it back here. I'm just gonna, I didn't quite go close enough to the leg right there, so I'm gonna fill that in. Make sure I do the same with the background. Okay. How you doing, hun?
I'm doing good.
Having snacks?
Yeah, they sent me an empty bag.
They sent you an empty bag.
Yeah.
So weird.
I know they got my hopes up about this fancy beef jerky, but the bag's empty.
I don't know how that's so weird. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, it said it's made with hands, so I'm kind of scared
Made with
now.
what?
Hands.
Made by hand?
Oh, wait a minute. Handmade. Yes, that's it. Sorry.
That would have been awkward.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't mean to do that there.
So did we tell everybody about Patreon traceables and
I did.
all that
Yep,
stuff?
when I was
Good.
drawing it out. I
Good,
did.
good.
You were obviously listening,
Of course I was.
like normal, like you
Yeah.
always do.
Hmm. And how about Instagram?
I did not mention Instagram.
Oh, see, Instagram and Stickman.
Oh, that's true. We still haven't done that contest, have we? We need to do that before
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll need to do it, what, Thursday?
before we get too much closer to Christmas here. Yeah, we'll have to.
Okay, so what are the rules about that?
Well, we'll just have people post on Instagram on when we post the stickman ornament.
Hmm. And they just comment on it?
Yeah.
Or like it?
Yeah, comment and like it.
Okay, so then we'll pick the winner out of everybody who's liked and commented on the Stickman pictures we've been posting.
No, just the
No.
picture of the ornament. We're not going to go through all of the stickman pictures.
Just the ornament.
Yes.
Okay. Did we post that?
No. You know, it's like you don't listen to me at all.
So that would be key. Well, no, I thought you meant that we didn't draw a winner. It's like, well, yeah, I know. Okay, so first we have to post a picture.
Yes.
Then, okay, so there's crucial steps here.
Right.
It's kind of like painting. Mm-hmm. Oh, she's doing water. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll post a picture of the Stickman. Then they gotta like and comment on that.
Right, on
What?
that picture only.
Like or comment, right?
I don't care.
Okay, there you go. It's
Whatever you
very,
think.
very hard, strict rules here. And then we'll draw a winner. So we'll post a picture tonight,
Yes.
and then Thursday we'll draw a winner.
Sounds good.
And
How are we going to get a hold of them?
we'll do a congratulations on
Instagram.
Instagram
So you
and
just have to check back the Instagram post.
Facebook and all that stuff.
And then we'll have to mail it to you at some point.
Probably after the new year.
Probably, yes.
Because we're on vacation basically after
We are.
tonight.
We are going on.
Sorry.
Sorry, yep. You're going to have to wait. Delayed gratification. You'll get your ornament after the Christmas holiday is passed. That's okay. He can be out all year long.
Exactly. He's
just
framed.
that awesome.
Just a special,
Here he is. This is what we're talking about right here.
I would say if you have
He
one,
got the hot foot. We did
if you have like one wall in your living room, just clear everything else off and just hang
Just
that on
put
there.
that on there.
Just hang it.
Just him
some-
by himself. I think
Some
that's a good
special
plan.
lighting. Well, you would have to do that for sure. If you don't, then we come and take them back. That's in the fine print.
Oh gosh. All right, so there's our legs. We're definitely going to have to add some more highlights to it, but we got the basics on there. Well, let me grab some more white here. And we'll just go along and tap in some white here, just along this leg. Make a nice bright highlight right down that leg to really pop it forward. A little bit on that foot. shoe. And then this one, the shoe is highlighted on the back side and right in here. There's some highlight on the ankle. And we're going to highlight the back of the calf right there. I feel like that's coming out really weird. It's a little bit long, or it's a little bit... Here, I need to... There we go. Attach it to the knee there a little bit better. Behind the knee. Legs kind of twisted to the side. Okay, then I want to grab some of my kind of medium gray here. And we'll put in our straps. So we'll do some just strategic sort of impressions of straps. They don't have to go all the way across. But we're just kind of marking up her foot a little bit here. Do you want to zoom in for this part? Because I think it might be helpful.
Of course I do.
Okay, there we go. So just setting my brush down. I don't have a lot of paint on my brush at this point. I'm just kind of doing very light brush strokes here to kind of create a little bit of an indication of these lines. Like that, okay? And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of the really dark and touch in a little bit of the really dark in a couple of places. It's almost black. So I want to define some of these shapes a little bit better. And there's a little bit of a shadow on the ground right here where the light's hitting. And let's just darken up this leg on this side a little bit more. Give that knee a little bit more of a shadow right there. And another little bit of a shadow right there between those two legs. Okay. And there's a little bit more darkness right there, real close. Just a little bit. Okay. I think that's good. They're not real smooth. They're just kind of... I've kind of intentionally, when I put in the brush strokes here, they're kind of diagonal, coming down the leg. That kind of mimics the muscles in the leg. Same thing with the shoe, kind of mimicking the folds of the shoe and that kind of thing. That will hopefully help kind of sell the idea that that's a leg muscle without, you know, making it perfectly smooth. All right, I think that's good. Put a little highlight there.
I think I'm buying what you're selling.
Good, good deal. All right, zoom out a little bit, and we'll do the fun part.
Zoom in, zoom out.
I know. Zoom in, zoom out. Okay.
What's the
So I think before I'm going to do the... Try that. These are gold and silver. I think I'm going to splatter some of this on. These are fluid acrylics, so they go on very thin. If I can get it to come out. This is might be a new bottle. Let me see. Yes, it is. It helps it come out if you have the cap.
That was some good video there of you shaking the bottles. I think we're going to win an Emmy for that one.
You think so?
Yep.
Okay, now this one's open. There we go. Alright, I'm going to grab a fan brush, wet it down just a little bit. These are fluid acrylics. If you've got other kinds of acrylics, you can just thin them down with a little bit of water. I'm just going to splatter on some gold. Random pattern, and then I'm going to grab some silver and do the same with that. Silver's going to show up better down here probably. Okay, there we go. Some really cool movement. And let's grab our palette knife here. Let me see what size I want to use. We'll try it with this one. This is a new one I haven't tried before. It's kind of a paddle. Now there's different ways of doing the dress. So you could do it, we could do it more like straight lines, or we could do it more like almost like flower petals in layers. So I'll show you just a few different, let me use this one to mix some colors. So I think I'm going to use the Quinacridone Magenta and the Cadmium Red Medium to make a cherry red. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of burnt umber to tone it down just slightly. And then I'm going to scoop up all the rest of this white and mix it in with that. See what we get. That's nice. I just realized that I was supposed to leave some of the darker colors, so I'm going to have to mix up some more. Got a little happy with that white there. I'm going to leave a little bit of dark because you're going to want some dark. Well, I guess I can add some dark to it here. I'll pull some over here and I scrape up what's left over there. And use a little bit of the burnt umber. And you can even use black with red. It creates a little bit duller color, but it definitely works for deepening up red. So we'll try that a little bit of black. There we go. Not sure that's going to be dark enough, so I think I'm going to take a little bit more of it and bring it over here. And we'll just add a little bit more black to it. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of the reds since it's gone. There's a lot of white in it. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, there you go.
Oh, we're using red, Jerry.
Red is happening. That just squirrels right out. I'm not even going to try to get it back in the bottle. That's just not worth it. Not worth it.
Great, now my rays won't go through.
That would be a losing battle right there. Okay. So it's almost equal parts Quinacridone Magenta and Cadmium Red. And then make sure you dip your palette knife into the black a lot so you get all of your hands. No, just don't do that, actually. Just kidding. All right.
So did you say, are you going to try to get close to the picture of the color in the tutu?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I'm trying to go for this kind of gray red here that's in the tutu, though. That's why the black is being added to it, because it'll tone it down.
Yeah, because it looks a little peachier.
A little peachy.
On YouTube than what I'm seeing here.
Okay.
So.
Well, we can add a little bit of yellow to it. Do we need to add some yellow, you think?
No, but that's, so they would add yellow to it to get a peachy color to it. Okay.
Yep, if they want it more peachy. Yeah, it is a little bit bubblegum there. We can add a little bit more white, I think. Or you could add, well, let's use a little bit of Unbleached Titanium, because that's got a little bit of a yellow undertone. So that will create a softer, peachier pink, so I'll take some of that pink there and add it to this Unbleached Titanium here.
Would dirty white work?
This is kind of dirty white, yeah.
Okay.
There we go. So that's that kind of peachy pink right there. And actually, if you're interested in color mixing, I do weekly art chats in my Patreon Facebook group. So I have for $10 a month, I have a Facebook group on Patreon, or on Facebook for patrons at the $10 level, that where I kind of do these themed challenges each month. So this month has been design, so I've been kind of going through some of my design process. Last month was color, and I did color mixing videos and showed how to kind of come up with some of these colors mixes on your own. Okay, so I like that color. And I'm going to grab some more pure white just in case I need it. This one needs a little bit more brown. That turned out to be more cadmium red than quinacridone. And then I definitely need to, getting white in there, definitely need to add some of my pink color. There we go. So I'm just creating different values. You see I've got kind of lightest, they're not in order though, lightest, kind of next lightest, and then this one, and then these two darker reds here. Okay. And I could even, if I added a little bit of blue, I would create a little bit more of a purpley red, which would actually work with the cadmium red, because cadmium red has a lot of orange in it, orange undertones. And this is actually mixing with some of that gray, which is good as well. There we go. That's the color I want right there. This one, and then some of this over here. Okay, so I'm going to start with, let's see, I'll go ahead and start with this. And I'll just lay on some of this color to begin with, kind of in the direction that I want my dress to flow. And I'm going to turn it around so that I can kind of scrape it in this direction. And this, it comes out a little bit from the waist, and then it flows down. Now, if we want to create like some petal type shapes, what you do is really load it up thick, and then you set it down and sort of just smush it like cake batter, and you can create like little raised textured areas. I think I'm gonna just kind of scrape it in sort of some random shapes myself. I may have gone a little too far down there. Right up to that leg, and we're going kind of behind it with this color, so I want to get right up underneath it. And then some of this is going to go right over the top, so I'm going to use the tip of my brush or my palette knife and just kind of create some little textured marks. Just scrape it through that paint. This is probably too far down. I don't know if I can get that off. Let me see if I can do this without taking off the background color. Push it back a little bit. There we go. Got a little happy with the knife. There we go. It's just like spreading. I gotta get a clean spot on my paper towel there. Well, you know somebody's gonna do that, so might as well show you how to fix it, right? There we go.
You know, wipe off the gold splatters too now?
Well, we'll put some more in later.
Okay.
Stop.
That is a
It's
mess.
just spreading.
we did this on purpose just to teach you different techniques on how to put paint on and then remove it. In case you were thinking, I've got way too much paint laying around here. What can I do with it?
There we go. Okay. Clean that off. All right, there we go. That's better. A little bit shorter. Okay, so I'm not even going to put this the dark color on this half of the dress, really. I'll put maybe just a suggestion of it under here, but very thinly. Okay, and that's much shorter. So you kind of want it to be a little bit lower. The top part of the skirt's going to be a little bit higher, and then it's going to come down just a little bit for the back part of that dress. All right, so I'm going to grab my next darkest color, which is this one, and start scraping up with it. And grab a little bit of this color too. There we go. Now I'm just kind of lightly scraping back over that darker color. It's lifting a little bit of the color, and it's just transferring a little bit of this lighter color on top. We just want a hint of this lighter color sort of skating over the top of this in these lines. Okay. Let's pick up a little bit more of it and do some right in here. There is just a tiniest bit of it kind of down here too. Yeah, I'm finding I like this one because I can make these like little scrapey lines with it. Why are you laughing at me?
No, just scrapey lines.
Scrapey lines. It's a technical term.
It's not a phrase I use at my place of employment.
You don't use scrapey lines at work when you're describing things about your planes?
No.
Okay. You should. All right, I'm going to add a little bit of this lighter color here, and we'll create a little bit of a highlight on this side of the dress. Now, this is the part that really stresses people out. If you have to be in control of everything that goes on your canvas, this part will be a little bit scary because, well, as you saw, it can get out of control. But for the most part, you can kind of fix things. If I would say be sure your background is dry before you start this part. I don't have that luxury, being live and all, but I guess I could have asked my hairdryer Mark to do that for me, but I didn't. No. Hindsight and all. So I'm going to scrape it up quite a bit here, and I want to get a nice thick area right down on this outside edge. But what I was going to say was, if you put the put it on a dry background, then you can wipe it off a lot easier. Just make sure you got lots of paper towels if you decide to do that. Okay. And clean paper towels, because obviously mine were getting dirty real quick. So I want to go across from where this line ended right here. Do that, and then over here. And it's not as dark, so I want to grab a little bit of the kind of medium dark color and go right in there with that, right up to that lighter color. Okay. And then there's a little bit of this darker color kind of under some of this light color, so we can put some of that in, and then I'm going to grab a lot of that lighter color and just put that right along this edge. Just scoop up a good amount of it. You kind of smooth it out thinly on your palette and then scrape it up, and then you can get kind of an even bead on your palette knife there, and you can put it on a little bit smoothly, more smoothly. And I'm just going to put it on here like this. There we go. And then scrape some nice thick textured lines in it. See all that nice texture there? I'm going to grab my white. I'm going to add a little bit of that in there too. Just a little bit, and let it kind of blend with what's in there. And scrape it through. I'm barely touching it here, so I'm kind of don't want to scrape it all off. But I do want to get a little bit of that lighter color on in some places. So right in here, there's kind of a highlight kind of comes up the middle. And there's another highlight that kind of folds down here. There's a fold right here. That's right there. Another one kind of right here. So it's this play between the dark and the light. Letting some light here and some dark area, and then the lighter area right in here. That's what will make this kind of look like it's popping forward on us a little bit. Get some of that white and get some really light highlight happening right there. Maybe a little bit under the dress there, kind of where it folds back on itself. I'm going to grab some of that lighter color and put that back over the top of some of this area down in here, because it's not quite as dark as I have it. Grab some more of that white. And I'm just kind of trying to find where my highlights might be and sort of add just a few little touches there. And this comes down a little bit farther in the front right here, so I think I'm going to bring this down right here. And I'm really just kind of trying to load it on the tip if I can, so that I have a little bit more control over where it's going onto my canvas. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Really, there's no light color all the way down here, but there is a little bit of highlight that kind of comes across her waist, so I'm going to sort of just tap a line in there where the top of the skirt goes. All right, I think that's about it. Let me get a little bit of this pink. Let's do this one. Get some of this lighter pink color here. Add some water to it. I'm going to splatter some of that down here too. The closer and the more violently you hit it, the more you'll get these kind of lines in your splatters too, if you want those. So all right, I like it. I think I need some more gold, since I kind of wiped off most of the gold on this side. There we go. Put a little over the dress, a little over the shoes. It's just all splattered up. Isn't that pretty? All right, so I hope you try this. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, like it, subscribe, all that good stuff. Should we give him a tutu? I think I'm going to give.
Yeah, that's what everybody's asked about.
I think our guy needs the tutu. Stick man. Sorry, guy. You just became stick girl.
He is secure in his manhood.
He is? Okay. He's got a little tutu on. That's perfect. There he goes. All right, that's going to someone lucky. You are welcome.
Yes. A one of a kind.
Here, I'm signing it right now.
leave room for me. I'm going to sign on the I'll sign on the back.
There we go. Stickman, our number one Stickman ornament. Hopefully we'll have one every year from now on. We'll see. We'll see if anybody signs up to get it.
Yeah, we'll see.
If we get 0 comments, then we'll know.
If we lose subscribers and followers, we'll know. Maybe not.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hope you try this. Hope you don't have to wipe off your paint at all. But that's okay if you do. Yeah, it happens to the best of us, right? And happy Merry Christmas. We will be back next Saturday on
a week from
the
Saturday.
30th. Yep. With another live show. Next, this Saturday, we're going to have the Santa. So if you've been looking for that, do you want me to bring it over to you? Yeah, bring it over real quick. I'll show everybody that's watching. But we'll be uploading that. That was one of my special Patreon only videos that I did last month. And that'll be our Christmas gift to you. So there's our Santa. And the tutorial for that is going to be uploaded on Saturday. And then we probably won't have a live show next Tuesday, but then we'll be back for the 30th on another live show for that. So we're taking a week off for Christmas. So hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that good stuff. And
thanks for making an incredible 2017 for us.
Yes, it's been wonderful.
A great ride.
Unbelievable. You guys are the best. All right, well, take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.